Hello and welcome to Chat with Kari on Diya TV. I'm Kari Lane and it is festival season full swing. And not only are there two South Asian film festivals happening at the same time, Chicago and San Francisco. The San Francisco International South Asian Film Festival, also known as Third Eye, is coming up. It is the longest running South Asian film festival in America. And with me right now is the festival director, Jaigirdar. Welcome.
Welcome also, and hello, Kari.
Yes, of course. They're happy to have you. So 20 years, that is a long time. How does it feel? And can you talk a little bit about what the last 2 decades have been like?
Well, it's been definitely a learning curve over the years. One of the things when we first started, we actually started a lot of different third eyes in all over the states, in Washington, in LA, in Boston, in Seattle. So, we spread around very quickly, but then we realized we needed to focus in on San Francisco and started officially in 2003 as a nonprofit. And I guess our name transformed from the SF International South Asian Film Festival to more Third Eye Fest or Third Eye Film Festival. And that also deals with a playful look at internal reflection in terms of what third eye means and is. And that we feel is through cinema. And it's a place to bridge our differences and to celebrate our differences too. And we feel that the 2 years that, that we've had COVID and had no time at all to see each other, generally speaking, especially in theaters. Now we're coming back to theaters, and we're really pleased about that.
So this year, what's new? What's the lineup like?
Well, we are starting with Force of Moses, and I believe in Chicago they're closing with Force of Moses. So we both pick similar films in that way. And that is a comedy. And we wanted to start with a comedy. In fact, we have a whole host of sort of lighter films. Again, I think part of the programming team's thoughts were that, everyone's been through so much for 2 years. And so we want a lighter kind of films. So Force of Moses is a wonderful way to start. It's kind of a ludicrous rom-com in a sense. And based out of LA. So we're looking forward to the filmmaker also coming to the screening for Q&A. But then we have, interestingly enough, we also have always some sort of films which are for the cinephiles. And this year we picked a film called Adieu Godard, which is Goodbye Godard. And Godard, of course, is a well-known filmmaker from the New Wave cinema in the 1920s, 20s, and he just passed away. So the timing is strangely perfect to celebrate his life. And so we'll have actually Usha Iyer of Stanford University to open that particular screening and discuss Godard's life at the Castro Theater in San Francisco on the 24th. That's a Saturday. But so that's the another film that we're showing. But we're also showing Shankar's Fairies, which is an Indian film by Irfan Majumdar, and it's about the independence of India. And again, the independence was celebrated recently. And this is about when it first got independent and about some of the challenges of that era. Then we're showing Mutiny, which is one which celebrates our 20th year, because Mutiny was made in 2003 and can only be shown at certain times, actually. With the filmmaker around. And the filmmaker is Vivek Bald. He's an MIT professor, but also was a DJ for decades in New York. So he will be coming down for Q&A, and we'll have a panel discussion on what Mutiny stands for, because it is about the music charts in England in the 90s, where a lot of South Asian Brits changed and transformed the music, mixing sort of traditional South Asian music, Bhangra, classical music, with DJs of British ilk, and sort of catapulting South Asian British music internationally. And so we'll have a panel discussion after that film about what music and politics stands for in terms of the South Asian American and British communities and the diaspora as a whole. We have other films, but I had mentioned comedies. Of course, we have our Bollywood classic, which is Dil Boli Hadipe, which is at the Castro Theater. Castro Theater is spectacular in San Francisco. It holds 1,500 people. It's one of the most beautiful theaters to come and see. So we're doing it at the Castro Theater. So seeing a Bollywood film in that sort of size and grandeur is the best place to do it. We are also screening at the Roxy Theater. And on Sunday, which is our closing night, that's the 25th, we are showing a couple of films. One is, of course, on the environment, which is Animal, which is actually a French film with a Sri Lankan young boy of 16 who's French Sri Lankan. And he's traveling around the world finding out about the environment. So it's about youth being activists in terms of the environmental change. And finally, we have the shorts, which again are very lighthearted. A lot of comedies in the shorts that we're showing. We show them annually. It's a combination of diaspora filmmakers as well as filmmakers from the Bay Area. But this time it's more sort of Canadians, French, British, a lot of Brits. And actually, one last point. We are also having an online screening later of just a snippet of films on October 6th, which is retro shorts. And those are also quite hilarious. Those are my favorites. So if you want to find out more, it's at thirdeye.org, which is thirdI.org. There's different spellings. We also have thirdeye.org, but they all lead to the same place, which is, not to be corny, internal reflection.
No, it's not corny at all. It's very, it makes sense. It all comes together. Yes. So that's on the nose, and that sounds corny. So,
well, one of the things I also say, and again, because of COVID, we haven't really interacted, and we are people who interact a lot. And one of the places where you sort of meet people is at festivals. And when you see a film together, it's where your unconscious sort of meets because you dream together. So maybe again, corny, but it sort of relates.
No, I like it. That sounds very beautiful too. It's like, where conscious meets.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, September 23rd to the 25th. And then October 6th later on, we have a later screening, which is an online. So there's theater and online. We're doing both.
What made you pick that October date and to do the additional online screening?
I think because during COVID, we had 2 years of online screenings. We wanted to keep that up for people who don't still want to come to theaters, and to give opportunities to people who didn't get to see some of the films, although it is a different screening. And I guess it's to have both, to have our feet in the theater and also still have some online part of it.
Oh, that's a great idea, because then you have the best of both worlds. So if people want to go attend in person, or if they want to watch online, that's available.
Right. Although they're different. I mean, they're not the same films.
Yeah.
It's more retro. It's going to be retro stuff online, which should be fun, though.
That's cool. Yeah, that definitely sounds like an awesome time. And anything else you'd like to add before we finish talking about this amazing festival?
No, I just hope that people come and help us celebrate, our South Asian identity. And also, as I said at the beginning, I think it's really time to celebrate.
And that was Third Eye's Festival Director, Yvonne Jaigirdar. Be sure to follow Diya TV on all social media platforms for coast-to-coast festival coverage. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kari Lane with Diya TV.